Alright, welcome to lesson 2 for this week, where we're going to start to get into a bit more detail about income tax. Last lesson we looked at PAYG, where your employer pays a bit of tax on your behalf. What we're going to start to look at this lesson is what happens around that end of financial year, the end of June 30, the start of the 1st of July, and in those months that follow afterwards, where people actually sit down and go, well, hang on, how much tax should have I paid? So we're just going to look at the how do I calculate that part for today's lesson. So again, you can follow a link there to the Australian Tax Office website. And on their website, what they have is they have these tables. And these tables here, you can see it's called the resident tax rates. And that's for this financial year, going from July 21 to June 2022. And what we can notice here is you can see that there are different levels in this table, and we call them brackets. If you earn in the bracket between $0 and $18,200, you don't pay tax. And we saw that last lesson. We talked about that tax-free threshold. So if you earned $18,000, you owe the government $0 in tax. And then we move into what we call the next bracket. If you earn between $18,200 and $45,000, well, for every dollar over $18,200, you owe the government 19 cents. So for every single dollar, you get paid. So if you earned $18,201, 19 cents of that $1 goes towards the government, and you keep the rest of it. If you earned $18,202, well, 19 times 2, that's 38 cents. 38 cents goes towards the government, and you keep what's left over from that $2. And you can see that continues to go for however long. When you reach over 45,000, you move into the next bracket, where you can see the tax then starts to increase a little bit. Instead of being 19 cents, it's now 32.5 cents for every dollar. When you get to 120,000, notice that again has gone up. You owe 37 cents for every dollar. And then again, when you get to that final tax bracket, which is 180,000 or more, you owe 45 cents for every single dollar that you make over that bracket. Okay? And it's important, you can see down the very bottom, that this table here, it does not include the Medicare levy. Once you figure out your tax, we add the Medicare levy on top of that, and we can see that down here. Your total tax payable is your income tax, so whatever we calculate from the table, plus the Medicare levy. Okay, so let's jump straight in and look at some examples here for this lesson. All right, example 1 here. Jenny has a taxable income of $91,262, and we're asked to calculate her income tax. Notice we just asked income tax. So the first thing we need to do is, well, what bracket does Jenny fall in? And when we have a look at the tables, when we look at the rows, $91,000, it falls inside that row there. It falls between 45,000 and 120,000. So if that's the row that she falls in, we just need to follow these instructions to figure out how much tax that Jenny needs to pay. All right, so her income tax, if we read those instructions, it's $5,092. So that's the first thing I'm going to write down. $5,092. It then says, oh, that was dodgy. It then says plus 32.5 cents for every dollar over 45,000. So how do I figure out how much over $45,000? Well, I'm going to do that with some subtraction. So I need to know 32.5 cents. Now notice how I've written that as 0.325. This is in dollars. All right, that's in dollars. And in the table it's in cents. Be really careful to make sure that we convert that. And we're going to go 32.5 cents times, now it's how much over 45,000 is she? Well, let's just quickly scroll up. What was it? 91,262. So 91,262 minus 45,000. That tells us how much over. And you can see that we need to know in our table how much over we are. Now that we're at this stage, we just type that equation straight into our calculator and it produces our result. It produces a result of $20,127.15. So Jenny would pay that amount of income tax out of the $91,000 that she earned. So example 2 here. John has an annual salary of $37,900. He also received $295 profit from his shares and $38 in bank interest. Okay, so we're going to use that information to answer these questions. And you can see this one's a bit of a longer type question, but it's going to step you through everything that we need to do to build up to figure out how much tax does John have to pay. So looking at Part A says, what is John's taxable income? So going back and looking through the question, he has income of $37,900. He's also received an income of $295 from his shares and $38 from his bank account. So we need to combine all them for his taxable income. So let's go through and do that. All right, so his taxable income, adding those three values together, adding all his income together, we see that John's taxable income is $38,233. Now Part B asks us, well, what is John's income tax? So looking at our tax table here, we can see that $38,233, it falls into that second tax bracket there, 19 cents for every dollar over 18,200. So what we're going to do, we're just going to follow those instructions again. Remembering we're going to change our cents to dollars, so 19 cents becomes $0.19 times, and remembering to figure out how much over 18,200 we need to do our taxable income minus that lower bracket. And when we evaluate that on our calculator, John's income tax, John owes $3,806.27. Part C, the Medicare levy. Remember the Medicare levy is 2% of our taxable income, so it's $38,233 times 2%. Evaluating that, we would get $764.66. And remembering that our total tax payable is our income tax combined with our Medicare levy. So combining those two, adding those two values together, John will have a total tax payable of $4,570.93. Alright, Year 9, your work for this week now is to complete the questions that's below here in the worksheet, and if you have time, complete the 10 quick questions. And as always, make sure you correct your work from the solutions, show that you've ticked it, fix any errors in your working out. Really important that you show each step of that working out. Take a photo, upload it to Canvas, and get that done by Friday, 17th of September. Alright, Year 9, have a great lesson.